Happening, plebs. So, just doing a bit of a mass response because I don't know if you've noticed. It seems like there's not been enough talk about the ban list. Not enough people have been addressing this on YouTube. Not enough people have been giving their 2 cents. So that's where we come in to fill that void and also give our stupid, worthless, shitty opinion. This time it's mine. So anyway. In all seriousness, we're talking about the ban list here, and the video is titled, we know what the ban list is, have you guys forgotten? And I feel like there's some kind of strange Mandela effect, or this huge mass amnesia by the community. I feel like you've all forgotten this, as if it's like just I don't know, people have just kind of decided in their head that we want ban lists on set dates and we want it soon, so where is it? And it's like, Konami told us when the ban list is. We know when, figuratively, but I'm so perplexed and so baffled at this sudden, like, over the past couple of days and weeks, like, there's just been so much uproar on like YouTube and stuff by a lot of different people saying, like, Konami have handled this thing really badly. Like, I don't know if you guys saw Team Sam's video where he sent an email to Konami and got an email back and then was saying, like, this is shitty customer service. What are they doing? They're just sitting around not working on a ban list. And it's just like, I'm just really sort of thinking to myself, they kind of said this to us already. This has been a thing for like almost 2 years we've known this, and for some reason people are still getting upset about it for what, I don't know how. Anyway, yeah. What is there to say? Now, John made a video recently, actually just like right there basically, talking about how, we don't need the ban list currently, we should have a couple more events and we should let the ban list check itself. We should let the format check itself and the decks check each other, kind of thing. Because, for example, near the end of last year, people were like, oh, we should probably limit Buster, we should maybe like limit Hanger, like all these kind of suggestions, right? Limit, I don't know, Mithrilium ban Kieran, this kind of stuff, right? Just to adjust that format that we were just in now. But now that we've gone forward and it's 2017, we've got a new set. Actually, Hanger and Buster don't need touched at all because that deck is shit now. So in a way, the sets and the formats like have checked each other. So that's kind of like what John's opinion is. Whether or not you agree with that is, that's not the purpose of this video. I'm just kind of highlighting like the basis of this sort of like the argument and the foundation of what we're talking about. On the other side of that spectrum, you have people like Team Sam, or Team Innovation saying like, yeah, we need the ban list soon. Konami have been doing a pretty shitty job of not giving us ban lists. Capital G as well, saying like, this is ridiculous, it's been too long, etc, etc. So you have these two extremes, and where you sit on this spectrum is up to yourself. That's fine, it's your opinion, but that's not what we're talking about today. We're addressing the fact that the ban list date is somehow just forgotten by the Yu-Gi-Oh community. You guys have forgot when we're getting the ban list, and I'm going to have to reiterate this and tell you, because I haven't seen anyone mention this. It's as if you've all forgotten, and I'm just really confused. So, blog post, July 2nd, 2015. That was almost 2 years ago. So fair enough if you've forgotten, but it was so big, it was so huge, it changed the entire face of the ban list forever. You'd think some people would remember, but some people have forgotten, it seems. So anyway, let's just read through this blog post. It's by Kevin Tuart here. And it's again, whether you agree with this is not the point. The point is that it happened and they told us and you forgot. So it's been a little over 3 months since the FL list was updated, and we've getting some questions about what's up with that. So here's a little detail on what's going on. TCG blah 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 first launched in 2002. We would update the list every time a new set or booster came out. Eventually we moved away from that and switched to changing the list on specific dates. First 6 months apart, up until like the end of Dragon Ruler format, 6 month ban lists, half a year you'd be playing broken decks, etc, etc, and then 3 month ban lists. So the response to the more rapid list changes, being 3 months, was good, and we think that's because it gives us more flexibility in adjusting the list, addressing the needs of players, and making a game that's more fun for everyone. Flexibility is good. So basically, if there's more frequent ban lists, they get to make changes, but changes that aren't so heavy, because that change is going to last 6 months. They need to make sure that they do adjust the problem, because they're not going to get another chance to address that problem for another 6 months, right? So they have to be pretty heavy-handed with the 6 months ban list, right? Because they know that they need to do something, or it's not going to be done for half a year, which is a long time. And nobody enjoys emergency ban lists. Having specific dates was running contrary to that. Very important line here. Having specific ban list dates was running contrary to the philosophy that they could adjust the ban list based on its frequency, meaning that you could have a ban list adjusted in milder ways. You didn't have to be so heavy-handed because the ban lists weren't that far apart, meaning that if you did hit something fairly lightly and it wasn't enough, then come 3 months time you can boost it back up. Or conversely, if you had something that was really overpowered and you didn't hit it enough, then you could wait a little bit longer, 3 months, not half a year, which is a long time. You wait 3 months and then you can hit it again in some shape or form. So having specific dates stops all of that, basically, because they're not able to just kind of tweak it, right? Again, some people prefer this method, some people don't. So because the hard "this list will end on date X" lines were limiting our flexibility, sometimes we felt we had to hit a card because it might become a problem rather than because it was a problem. This is good practice sometimes, but not always, and occasionally we ended up being a little heavy-handed with players wondering why did they do that. The problem for us was that when we were locked into only changing the list on specific dates, we had only those narrow windows to work with. Past tense, we were locked into specific dates, i.e. Specific dates of ban lists is not a thing anymore. You probably noticed that the current list, which took effect in April 1st of 2015, has no end date. This was intentional. We're going to update the list very soon, but we're going to update the list when it's ready, when the time is right, and when we have the feedback and data we need to make the best decisions we can. Okay, I do agree that this probably should have been way more explicit in what it's saying, but I think it's very clear to see that they said that we're not going to have set ban lists anymore. We're going to hit things when they become problematic, not because they might become problematic, like they had to do with 3 month and 6 month ban lists. 3 month ban lists being the more milder of those cases, but 6 months meaning that they had to hit something pretty hard to make sure it didn't come back, or they had to make sure that they didn't hit it too hard to make sure that if there was support coming in the future, it would still be able to thrive. Now, this is really the entire point of this video. If you get anything from this video, it's basically the fact that what I'm saying is we know, and we have known this for almost 2 years now, that the ban list comes and goes when it's necessary. That's it. That's it. Like, I don't agree with it, and I'm sure many of you guys don't agree with it, but that's not the point. The point is, how did you forget this article? They wrote this and told us we're gonna have ban lists when they're necessary. Oh my god, like, really, people, really, like, and they've followed this formula for a while now because they haven't had, like, I mean, the last ban list before this was August, and then the last one before that was like February, I want to say, maybe March. So a little bit longer than 3 months, and especially now for looking August to where we are at, it's a good, like, almost half a year or something, right? Anyway, yeah, that's all I wanted to mention today. As for my personal opinion, if you are wondering what I think about this, I am sort of somewhere in the middle. I think initially I was very much for set ban lists, but it's natural. People hate change. People are averse to difference, to change in general, right? People like their little bubbles and comfort zones and what they've always had and will have. So set ban lists I was very much in favor of initially, but over time You know, the very good example, like I mentioned at the start, is the fact that decks that we thought were amazing and really powerful, like ABC, only 2 months ago, now sucks dick, basically, right? Not even 2 months ago, literally like 1 month ago, that deck was really strong, really strong, and now is trash. Zero tops, done nothing, achieved nothing, is garbage, right? And that's because the format itself is checking itself, as John mentioned in his video, which I am leaning more towards. I think that I would probably prefer ban lists to be infrequent, and I would prefer the mechanics and the new sets essentially to nullify each other and to limit each other. So, you know, Kirin, for example, was something that everyone wanted banned. Currently, Kirin at 1 is probably fine. It's probably fine just now. In 2017, post Raging Tempest, post Fusion Enforcers, that card's probably okay. So that's my opinion on it. Don't really have much else to say. When will we get the ban list? Again, if you haven't been listening for the past 10 minutes or something on this rant, the ban list is coming when it needs to come. That's it. This article said that was going to be the case almost 2 years ago, and somehow, some way, everyone has forgot what Konami told us straight from their mouths, that we were going to get a ban list when it was needed, not when it was a certain date or X number of tops or X number of months past. Okay? Thank you guys, and see you next time.